Shalom. If you want to review and see more content, like, comment, subscribe. Children of the Promise. We'll get you together. Shalom.
Now Sirach 14 and 3.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money?
So now we get into riches. And we still talk about the tongue, but we're going to kind of talk about riches a little bit. So riches are not comely to a nigger. And what should an envious man do with money? Man, because remember, we are not accustomed to that lifestyle here in captivity. So we get a little bit of money and we change up. We start acting a fool. So what would an envious man do with money? He gonna be as his enemy. He gonna try to dress himself up like his enemy. He gonna go out and he's gonna spend his money on things he wants, and his mind state is gonna become high. Go to Matthew 16:26.
Matthew chapter 16 verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
We get to that point where we say riches are not coming to a nigger. We will lose everything that's important in us, which is we'll lose our soul but gain the whole world, which is nothing. That's what happens when you get somebody who has no business having riches. They become self-indulged, selfish. They gain the whole world, lose their soul. Go ahead.
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
And we'll say, what should a man give in exchange for his soul? A man will give, an envious man will give everything to be rich. He'll give everything to be rich. That includes his soul. Go back to Sirach 14 and 3.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money?
Jump down to verse 6.
The verse 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself.
So it says, there's none worse than he that envieth himself. So we'll switch it up a little bit. It says, there's none worse than he that envieth himself. Meaning all he cares about is himself. He's selfish. Go ahead.
And this is a recompense of his wickedness.
That's a recompense of his wickedness. Go ahead.
And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly.
Whatever good deed this man do, he ain't doing it out of pleasure. All he cares about is himself. He doing it for some kind of self-gratitude. Go ahead.
And at the last he will declare his wickedness.
And at the last he gonna show you his true self. He gonna show you his true self. Go ahead.
The envious man have a wicked eye.
So every man, he got a wicked eye. All he see, his eyes are wicked. All he see is what he wants, and all he does is hate his brother and his sister. All he does is he's a covetous man. All he does is covet. All he does is want. He's the type of man that if he wants his brother's wife, he'll do whatever in his power to get her. He wants his brother's house. He wants his brother's life. Go ahead.
The envious man have a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men.
He despises men. He don't like nobody. Remember what they say, who do I care about? Me. Who do I trust? Me. That's a wicked saying. That's evil. A lot of our people have gotten to that point through traumas, have become self-loving, become hateful towards their own brothers and sisters, They say, well, I made it. I did what I had to do to make it. And I don't care what nobody thinks or won't. I don't care about nobody but me. That's a spirit that's heavy in our people today. It's a wicked spirit. Go ahead.
A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion.
And he's not satisfied with his portion. You ever notice, you see them, they constantly trying to get richer. They constantly trying to upgrade, add on more to what they already got. They're not content. They want the world and everything it has to offer. You know, what is it for a man to gain, to lose his soul, but gain the whole world? They want everything, and they will never be full. Go ahead.
And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
It dries up his soul. His soul becomes useless. He empty. Always warm, never satisfied. Always hungry, empty. Feel like an empty vessel. We're gonna touch more. Let's get Proverbs 27 and 20. Proverbs chapter 27 verse 20.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 20. Hell and destruction are never full.
Hell and destruction are never full. They can't be full. Go ahead.
So the eyes of a man are never satisfied.
The eyes of a wicked man are never satisfied. Never satisfied. Philippians 4. Philippians 4 and start at 10.
The book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 10.
So now we get into it. Say an evil man is never satisfied. An envious man is never satisfied. He's not happy with his portion, right? Always wanting more. Never, he hateful towards his brother, hateful towards his sister. Let's see how we're supposed to be. Get Philippians 4, start at 10.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 10. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me have flourished again.
So this saying, what he's saying is, I rejoiced in the Lord greatly because you people, y'all cared for me. Y'all took care of me in my time of need. Go ahead.
Wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity.
And you were careful with me. You were patient with me. You was patient. Go ahead.
Not that I speak in respect of want.
He said, I'm not saying it's good to be wanting, to be needy. I'm not saying I speak in respect of being poor or being down on my, at a lower state. Go ahead.
For I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
But I'm saying it because even though when I was down, y'all took care of me. And I was happy. I'm glad I was happy. Because I'm not saying it's great, it's a good thing to be poor. What I am saying is I am content. Whatever state of my life the Most High has me in. I'm content. That's what we want to be. You don't want to be the envious man. You want to be the content man. Who, no matter where he's at in life, his hope has not failed in the Lord. He's still striving, and he is content with his portion. He's content with his portion. Go ahead.
Verse 12. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound.
So he said, I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. I know how to be striving, and I know how to be down. Go ahead.
Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry.
So he said, I'm in.
Philippians 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me.
So you have to remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So don't tell yourself that you can't be content. Don't tell yourself you can't control your tongue. Because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. All things. But you cannot lose your hope in the Lord. Because when you lose that hope, that's when you can't do anything no more. That's when you start doing things for yourself. When they say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, it's not talking about doing it on your own. Key, Christ who strengthens me. These words we read in these laws, those are the words of wisdom that God gave you to live by. That's what he gave you to live by. 2 Timothy 3:2. Let me understand. I'll just get touch on this one more time.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
This is it's gonna be like this in the latter times. Men gonna be lovers of themselves. They're gonna be covetous, boasters, always boasting. Now look what I got. Look at me. Proud. 2, they not humble. Men ain't humble no more. Blasphemous, talking against God. Misusing God's scriptures, God's words. Lying on God. Lying in the name of God. Disobedient to parents. And like you said, we got people that these days, our children don't respect their parents no more. That starts with the parents. Start disciplining your child. But disobedient to parents, unthankful, not grateful for anything they got, the breath in your lungs. Don't you know every second above ground is a blessing? Remember something. Scripture's that a living dog is better than a dead lion. And unholy. They don't fear God no more. They don't keep, our people have gotten so far away from God. But all praise to the Most High for the commandments and the waking up of our people coming back. When y'all in the streets and a brother or sister come to you and say shalom, I say all praise to the Most High. Because this word is getting out. It's getting out way more than it has ever been. Back when I was in the world, I hadn't heard about it. Now, everybody come to me saying shalom to me. Our people are waking up. So you got to praise the Most High for that. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 14. And read verse 11.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 11. My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself.
Love yourself. And how you love yourself, you keep God's commandments. You control your tongue. Don't be envious. Love yourself with everything in you, according to your ability. Fight for it. Go ahead.
Do good to thyself and give the Lord his due offering.
Give the Lord his due offering. Give him what he asked for from you. Give him you. Give him you. Give him his time. Like I said, I'm almost like a broken record. Keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Do what he told you to do. Now go to Romans 12 and 18. So according to the ability in you, Romans 12 and 18.
Book of Romans chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
If it's possible, as much as it is in you as an individual, be at peace with all men. Do you really want to walk around angry? It's not a good feeling when you and another person got a problem with each other. When y'all got a beef. So if this is possible, as much as lie in you, be at peace with all men. The Most High didn't say some men, he said all.